Hello queens, angels, and goddesses. Welcome back to my channel. Warning, this contains boy love, and if you don't like it then please get off my channel. Water pistol. Grinning face with cowboy hat. Kageyama since he was little knew that he wouldn't have an easy life since he never met his parents. They were always traveling, and when they came to Miyagi they passed all their time with Miwa like Kageyama didn't exist. And his grandfather told him that he was so much like him, so he needed to be strong emotionally and physically. His grandfather was right because his parents never remembered him. His sister left to Tokyo and never contacted him. He presented as an Omega even if he looked like an Alpha, which made his classmates bully him. His grandfather died 2 years after he presented and he was abandoned by his only friends. He thought he would never find anyone that would understand him, but when he heard about Asahi and saw him he knew that the two of them had a lot in common. They become best friends, even if Hinata was also Kageyama's best friend. He was happy when Asahi's crushes also loved him, and he promised himself that he would make sure that all of his friends would find love before he tried to find love for himself again. He did it. All of his friends found someone to love and to be loved by, and he was really happy for them. Kageyama ignored the worried looks he received since he was the only one that didn't have anyone, but he didn't care because he didn't want to have his heart broken again, even if it may never happen again, since those two were the people Kageyama loved the most and he knows he still loves them. His first 2 weeks at college were difficult because he wasn't expecting that Kandaichi and Kunimi, the people that he loved and broke his heart, would be his roommates, and it was difficult since he noticed the angry looks both diriged to him. It became common for any of his friends to have him spend the night in their dorms. Their love didn't mind it. At the end of that 2 weeks Kageyama was finally able to ignore the looks, especially because every weekend Asahi come to his dorm for an Omega night. They preferred to make an Omega night between only the two of them because they understood each other better than anyone, making his week better. Kandaichi and Kunimi after some time finally realized that what happened in middle school was everyone's fault, meaning no one was more at fault than the rest, so they decided to talk to Kageyama, which you could say that ended well and bad at the same time. They forgave each other's, but Kageyama still continued acting as before leaving the couple. Yes, Kandaichi and Kunimi have been together since their second year at Aobajose. Confused. Asahi, being the good person he was, and also wanting to see his best friend happy like him, helped the couple understand something that they had never noticed but that their classmates and middle school had, which was that Kageyama was an Omega. Kageyama used suppressants and the only time he didn't was during vacations, and that he always had loved Kandaichi and Kunimi even after they abandoned him. It took some time for them to come to terms with that and talk to Kageyama. They apologized for never noticing and said that they didn't feel the same, but that they wanted to try and be friends with Kageyama again if he didn't mind. A new friendship was born from that, and the couple tried not to act too coupley when Kageyama was with them and tried to not make him feel left alone when they hang out. Kunimi was the first one of the couple to notice that maybe they felt something more than friendship for Kageyama, but he wasn't sure, so he didn't say anything, but conform the time passed he noticed that him and Kandaichi tried to pass all the time with Kageyama, and if they were having a date at the dorm, cuddling and watching something on the TV PC, they always asked Kageyama to join them. Kandaichi didn't take long to notice that too, but they first decided to talk to Asahi about it to make sure that they weren't just making this feelings because they felt a little bad for Kageyama, and after making sure their feeling were real if they still had a chance with Kageyama. A year later the three of them were dating and really happy together, so they moved to an apartment close to their college and started planning their future together. 6 or 5 years later the three of them got married. Even if they planned to get married the next year, they had to rush things because during one of Kageyama's heats he became pregnant. After 2 years of dating, Kunimi, being the only alpha since Kandaichi was a beta, marked Kageyama as their. Kageyama was happy, and if someone asked if he would change anything that happened to him he would say no, even if he had been hurt a lot. He ended up finding a family in Karasuno's VBC and 2 wonderful lovers on Kunim and Kandaichi. Warning, this fanfiction does not belong to me, neither does the fan art. Credits to the original artist and author to the fan art and the fanfiction. Haikyuu does not belong to me either. Well, bye children, smiling face with hearts.